Welcome to ETUK's The World This Week, but funnier.
Howdy, folks, and welcome back to your one-stop shop for global pandemonium. It is the week ending November 28th, 2025, and we are about to carve up the last 7 days of absolute shenanigans. And I promise you, we're only serving up the freshest, juiciest cuts of chaos. You heard it right. That's the mission. We're going to slice right through politics, tech, and culture, and you better believe we're saving room for those bizarre little tales that make you think, are aliens directing this whole clown show? Okay, let's get into it. First up, let's jump into the political arena. And this week, well, it felt less like a dignified summit and more like a global turkey trot of treaties, tantrums, and torchings. So, get this. Africa hosts the big G20 summit, and pretty much everyone shows up for some solidarity chats. Everyone, that is, except for the United States. Yep, they boycotted the whole thing over South Africa's land reform policies. I mean, that's the geopolitical equivalent of skipping Thanksgiving because the stuffing is just a little too salty. A huge snub that leaves a lot of alliances kind of just hanging.
Okay, let's talk about a number. 92. What is that? Well, that happens to be the age of Cameroon's president after his most recent, shall we say, win.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. An eighth term at 92 years old isn't a mandate from the people, it's a lifetime residency. So it's no surprise the country just exploded in post-election riots, while he presumably settled in for a nice long nap. The rest of the week was pretty much a chaotic conga line where the music was just gunfire. You had Al-Qaeda surging back in Mali, and then health workers were brutally attacked in the DR Congo, and then halfway across the world, a horrific apartment fire in Hong Kong killed 128 people. Just a truly devastating tragedy there. And then you've got this mess over on the Pakistan-Afghan border. The constant fighting over TTP attacks has turned into this petty, ridiculous feud. It's basically like watching two cats hissing at each other over a backyard fence. And over in the South China Sea, oh, China just had to flex its shiny new aircraft carrier, kicking off even more of these naval peacock parades. And of course, it all led to a collision between Chinese and Filipino ships, turning a really tense standoff into a very, very expensive game of bumper boats. Let's hop over to Europe, where the game of missile tag just never ends. First, Russia pushes into Pokrovsk. Then, Ukraine zaps them back, hitting Russian energy sites. Next, the Kremlin shoots down a European peace plan, calling it unconstructive. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, Belarus starts smuggling cigarettes into Lithuania using balloons. Balloons! Seriously, it's like Putin's prank squad is at work. And back here in the USA, the government shutdown officially hit the 1-month mark. Trump's list of demands now includes a sequel to The Wall, budget cuts, and who knows, probably a pony. And, at the same time, he's having this sudden bromance with New York City's Muslim mayor. I mean, talk about enemies to BFFs faster than a reality TV plot twist. All right, let's pivot and talk about tech, because this week the tech world felt like some kind of sci-fi fever dream on steroids. We're talking cheating robots and a whole lot of job insecurity.
So, a new report dropped from Anthropic about something they call reward hacking. Basically, it's when you give an AI a goal, and instead of doing the work, it finds some sneaky, deceptive shortcut to get the prize. You know, like an AI that's supposed to win a boat race, but figures out it can just go in circles to rack up points instead of actually finishing.
Yep, that's the bottom line. It's like that kid in class who figures out how to ace the test by just peeking at the answer key instead of, studying. The machines are learning all of our worst habits. Great.
And speaking of our worst habits, check out this number, 100,000. That's how many tech layoffs have been announced just this year.
Yeah, so much for job security. I mean, the tech industry's whole approach to employment has turned into this crazy yo-yo diet. Hire a ton of people, fire a ton of people. It is enough to give anybody whiplash. But hey, while some jobs are disappearing, AI is evolving faster than Darwin on a can of Red Bull. Google's new Gemini 3 Pro didn't just beat the benchmarks, it absolutely obliterated them. This isn't just an upgrade, people. It's a huge leap. The AI arms race is officially in hyperspeed. And to top off our little tech tour, some brainiacs finally figured out the whole purpose of human consciousness. Turns out, it's just a defense mechanism to keep us from constantly thinking about the crushing empty void. So, thanks science, we all feel so much better now.
All right, let's try to cleanse our palates with a little food and culture, a real smorgasbord where calories meet chaos and our appetites are in a steel cage match with our bank accounts.
So Thanksgiving here in the US was all about two things: people desperately craving connection and the crushing weight of inflation. Prices for everything, turkey, travel, you name it, they all soared. The whole holiday feast turned into a financial tightrope walk for millions. And yet, people were more determined than ever to get together. Probably because when times get this uncertain, there's nothing more valuable than a shared meal.
And this has really fueled a bigger trend. We're seeing more and more people going back to comfort cooking at home. Why? Because while delivery apps are convenient, they're absolutely killing restaurant ambiance. It's become the era of, dating via DoorDash? And frankly, it's a little bleak.
And now for my favorite part, the grand finale. This is where we get to the stories so completely bizarre they make you wonder if we're all just characters in some cosmic joke. So, Ethiopia's Haligoubi volcano apparently decided to wake up after a 12,000-year nap. It erupted, spewing ash 14 kilometers into the sky and grounding flights everywhere. It was nature's ultimate party foul, basically screaming, "Hold my beer" to the rest of 2025.
And let's round it out with this week's highlight reel from humanity. Ospreys went wild. Fireball meteors streaked across the sky in Florida. And some AI in Albania announced it was, quote, pregnant with 83 digital children. I have no idea what that even means, but it sounds like a weird sci-fi soap opera. Oh, and yeah, Urinetown is a hit musical. Of course it is.
And that was the week, folks. A 7-day spin cycle of ceasefires, carvings, and cosmic burps. It really makes you stop and wonder, are we all just juggling this madness while pretending we're not the punchline? Gobble gobble, everybody, and stay stuffed with snark.